the Mets have made their first move of the regular season, and it comes with a trade with the Pittsburgh Pirates. And this was pretty expected after we placed this player on waivers after not being able to find a roster spot for him. Plus, Francisco Lindor is already out of the Mets lineup. We're going to get discussing on why that is and what this future for Francisco Lindor is looking like right now. What is going on, everybody? Welcome on in to this new edition of Mets Digest with your host, Michael DeAngelo. As you see on the screen, before I get started, I gotta ask you guys, please hit that subscribe button down below. We are trying to get to 4K is our next goal right now, because once we hit 4K, I'm going to be doing a big giveaway for you guys on my Twitter. I will drop my Twitter as soon as we hit 4,000 subscribers. So tell your friends, tell your family that this is their one-stop shop for everything New York Mets baseball. Anything roster news, trade updates, free agency rumors, trade rumors, injuries, discussion content, debate content, all of that right here for you guys. So you don't have to go through scrolling through Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, looking for Mets news when I put it all right here in one spot for you guys. So let's get started. The Mets have made their first trade of the regular season, like I said before. And it comes from trading out, or that's not big enough for y'all. Trading outfielder Alexander Canario from us to the Pittsburgh Pirates in exchange for money. So we basically traded for him from the Chicago Cubs. He's a former top prospect for Chicago. He was traded to the New York Mets for cash, and now we have just shipped him off for more cash. So, basically lost nothing throughout this deal. Just a nice little tryout for Alexander Canario. Had a great spring with the New York Mets. Hopefully he can find some playing time with the Pittsburgh Pirates, as he was doing amazing for the Mets in spring, hitting a couple home runs. He was at over 1,000 OPS at one point. So he definitely deserves some time out on the field, and it's just unfortunate that the New York Mets cannot provide that at this point. Remember, there's 6 outfielders on the active roster right now, and when Jeff McNeil comes back, there will be 7. So there's really no room for him at all. He can't play any infield positions, and of course, infield is dominated off the bench by guys like Brett Beatty and Luis Angel Acuna. It just was not good. There's just no room for him on this team, even after the great showing he was having at the plate during spring. Now, along with him being cut, we look at the outfield now of to why we weren't keeping him. And if you pay attention, and if you've been paying attention to our updated prospects list, you'll see that 3 of the 5 players that have that have been placed on our top 10 prospects, 3 of the top 5 are listed as outfielders. And then also familiar Drew Gilbert being placed at that number 11 spot. So there's already tons of outfield talent loaded in the farm system. So there's just no need for another young, dynamic hitting outfielder when we have tons of them in the minor leagues that we're paying pennies for. So there's no point of keeping him on this team at this point, and that really sucks to see, because the Mets have said that they're interested in a right-handed bat at this point in time, but with Alexander Canario not being able to play infield possibly, that is what probably drove them away to not keeping him anymore. And with Starling Marte still on the team, you're paying him $20 million a year, and you weren't able to find a trade partner for him in the offseason. And now he's sitting here getting playing time, especially now with Francisco Lindor out, which we're about to get discussing right now. Marte's been pretty much taking over that DH position anytime a lefty's on the mound. He just hit a home run, his first home run against the Miami Marlins to tie it up at 1-1, and the current score is 10-4 right now, I think. So the Mets are pretty much going to be wrapping up a series, or a first game 1 win against the Marlins at Miami here on this Tuesday night, and Monday night. My clock's all thrown off. But something else that we noticed today in the game was that Francisco Lindor was not in the lineup for the New York Mets. And it is apparent that because if, anyone follows Francisco Lindor's wife on Instagram, you would see that she just posted his new baby boy that has just been born. They named him Koa. And he is out of the Mets lineup until further notice. I'm sure he will be ready for home opener. I'm thinking right now he'll either just be out this series, or maybe just games 1 and 2 right now, so maybe he'll be out tomorrow, and then the day after that he'll come back. Who knows? My guess is that he's going to be out this whole series, but the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because Francisco Lindor has always had a slow start to the season so far while he's been with the Mets. We know him as not being able to heat up until around the end of May, beginning of June. That causes him to not make All-Star appearances, and then was able to make runner-up MVP. So something that we always notice amongst these professional baseball players is that once they have a baby, especially a son, or once their wives have a baby, especially a son, the player for the next couple weeks after that just goes bananas. I mean, we're seeing it with Aaron Judge right now. He became a dad this offseason and has just exploded here so far in the first few games of the season. We see Mike Trout as well. As soon as he had his son, hit a couple home runs as well in that first series. So maybe Francisco Lindor gets the fans excited with a little bit of an early hot bat, and he will be back for opening day against the Blue Jays, I can guarantee you. One more small little update that I want to give you guys before I let y'all go. Previously, I've been harping on the bullpen and what's going on with it, especially with Paul Blackburn not making the opening day roster. Another guy that didn't make the opening day roster that was a little bit of a surprise was Dedinel Nunez, who was optioned to AAA right before the season started due to the fact that they wanted to give him some more build-up time in advance so that he could be fully ready for once the summer comes around for the New York Mets. And as you can see right now, the bullpen, even with my concerns, I have to admit they are very deep. It is a very depth-filled bullpen, and with Diaz being consistently out there, that's what's going to make this bullpen. That's basically the rock of the bullpen. But Reed Garrett has looked good so far. AJ Minter has looked good so far. So to kind of see these pieces hold up for a little bit, hopefully they can hold up until reinforcements arrive. Guys like Frankie Montas, who I know is going to be in the starting rotation. Same with Sean Manaea. But that's going to cause some pieces to move around and guys get moved down to the bullpen. Maybe we see Tyler McGill move down to the bullpen. Maybe we see Griffin Canning. Who knows what happened? I hope it's not Tyler McGill, because I know at this point that he looks most comfortable as a starting pitcher, and seems like he really throws his best too. But to continue with this update on Nunez, he made his AAA debut for Syracuse the other day, and he went one inning and gave up one hit, one earned run, so that must have been a home run, and two strikeouts. On 23 pitches, he threw 18 strikes. Fastball topped out around 97, which is pretty normal for him. And he threw 12 off speeds in total. So looking at it right now, we are hoping that he will be back as soon as possible. I don't know how much longer they'll give him. I don't know if he's on some type of program. But definitely a few more outings before they pull him up. And possibly, we got to look at this point who they're going to send down. Maybe they could activate both Nunez and Manaea at the same time. We know that he's supposed to be back soon. He has begun throwing as well. So and there has been no reports at this time if he will appear in any minor league games before he gets out on the mound and going. But that is all I have for you guys here today on Mets Digest. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Give the video a like. Let me know in the comments what you think about Lindor being a new dad and this Alexander Canario trade. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day, everybody.